Good evening. This is the 10th video lesson on magnetic effect of current. In previous video lesson, we were discussing about torque on a coil in a uniform magnetic field. So, in continuation of yesterday's class, um, we have made a diagram like this. These are magnetic field lines which depict a uniform magnetic field in which we have kept a coil. We name it as P, Q, R, S, and PQ we name it as length L, and this is breadth B. We allowed a current to flow in clockwise direction. So this is I, and this is I, and this is I. So we have named it as PQ equals to L, the length of the coil, QR equals to B, the breadth of the coil. And we have shown in the previous class that for this orientation, that is, if the normal of this coil is perpendicular to the plane of the board, is also perpendicular to the magnetic field direction. Therefore, the side QR and PS are parallel to the magnetic field, and we concluded that force F on QR equals to force on PS is nothing but I LB sine 0 degree. Sine 0 is 0, so entire thing will become 0. For this orientation only. This orientation means the normal drawn to the coil makes an angle 90 degree. Do not get confused between the normal drawn and the direction. This theta is taken as the angle between the current direction and the field direction, but not with the normal. So when current makes an angle 0 or 180 degree with the field, the normal makes 90 degree. So there is a difference of 90 degrees between these two angles. Fine. And we have shown the direction of force on PQ like this. It experiences a force, four finger points in the direction of field, central finger points right into the plane of the board. This we have shown, FPQ. And this will be exactly in the opposite direction. So this will be named as FRS. So now FPQ equals to FRS in the magnitude, and we have given that this is I LB sine 90 degree, because coil is as it is like this, current is going upward direction, angle is 90, and this is 180, sine 90 or sine 180, both of them will be what? Magnitude wise equal, so this is sine 90 degree, okay, sorry, sine 90 and sine 270 this is. So this will be ILB only. This current makes an angle 90 degree with the field, and this current makes an angle 270 degree with the field. So sine 90 is 1, sine 270 is minus 1, but we are speaking about magnitudes. So both the forces on this are what? Equal. Right. Now we said that FPQ is acting into the plane of the board, FRS is acting out of the plane of the board. Okay. So the net force on both of them. Now, if you write the directions also, FPQ vector equals to minus FRS vector. Therefore, F net on the coil is 0. This statement we made in the last class. Now the problem is that PQ is like this, RS is like this. So these two forces are not acting along the same straight line. They are not acting at the same point. So the forces maintain a perpendicular distance equal to QR. So therefore, as the forces are acting along two different straight lines, with a perpendicular distance, the perpendicular distance QR equals to B, comma, they constitute a turning effect known as torque. So torque equals to force into perpendicular distance, tau equals to force is ILB into perpendicular distance is nothing but QR is B. So this is I into L into B together I am writing, and B is here. Length into breadth of a rectangle is nothing but area. So tau equals to IAB. If coil has n number of turns, for n turns, the total torque tau equals to n into IAB. This we will write as tau equals to BINA, B-I-N-A, to remember it easily as a phrase. So here this expression will tell you that the torque on a coil does not depend on the geometrical shape. Finally, it depends on what area of the coil. So if you have two coils, one is rectangular coil, other is a circular coil, both of them are carrying the same current and they are placed in the same magnetic field. If both of them happen to have the same cross section, same area, then what will happen? The torque on both the coils will be what? Same. So remember children, it is the area that makes the matter. It is not the geometrical shape that makes the matter. Okay. So geometrical shape of the coil is immaterial. You have only the area of the coil that makes a important thing here. Okay. So tau does not depend on, torque does not depend on shape of coil, geometric shape of coil, but on area of the coil. Right. Suppose if because of this torque what will happen? Because of the torque what will happen? The coil will turn like this. Then this is the magnetic field direction. Same magnetic field only. Don't think that the lines are very close so that the field has become intensified as it is. Now the plane of the coil will be like this. So now this is the length of the coil and this is breadth of the coil. Now FPQ will be acting normal into the plane of the board only. FRS will be acting out of the plane of the board for this current. This is the current like this. Now as usual, now what will happen? The angle between the current and the field. So if you take this angle as theta, so current makes an angle theta with the field. So therefore this equation you cannot substitute 0 there. Now what will happen? The force on this I will remove. So this is P, Q, R, S, FPQ equals to, FQR equals to, right. Now, forefinger points in the direction of field, central finger points in the direction of current. How is the current? Current earlier they were going like this. Field is like this, current is also like this. So angle has become what? 0. Therefore ILB sin theta mein we substituted theta equals 0. Therefore we made force on 0. But remember children, this is your field, but this is your current. Current is going like this now. So there makes an angle theta. This theta can be 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, but it is not 90 degree. If it is 90 degree, it will be like this. So there is some angle between these two. Okay, so now FQR is nothing but ILB, angle between these two. Force and current and this one. Right. So it's like this. ILB sine theta. Theta is measured between what? Theta is measured between field direction and the plane of the coil. Plane of the coil. Okay. But what about the normal? If you draw a normal, normal will be like this. Earlier normal is like this, which makes an angle what? 90 degree. Now what will happen? The coil will turn into the plane of the board. Therefore this pen also will turn like this. If it turns through a 90 degree angle, theta angle, QR turns through theta angle, this will turn through 90 minus theta. Okay, right. Now what will happen? You see the direction of force. Same whether angle is 90 degree or less than 90 degree, thumb will be always pointing what? In the upward direction. So this will be ILB sine theta in upward direction. In upward direction. What about PS? PS is carrying current exactly in the opposite direction. So FPS is also ILB sine theta only in downward direction. Why downward direction? Because current direction is what? Reversed. So therefore, this will be acting along this direction, like this, FQR, and if you take the center of mass of this one, it will be like this. So here, this point, and FPS, this is the center of mass, it will be like this. So FPS. So again, these two forces are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. So net force because of these two will become what? 0. Also, there is no torque because of these two, because they do not maintain any perpendicular distance. The line of action of these two forces is what? Same. So therefore, they cannot constitute any torque. So therefore, in such a magnetic field, children, these vertical, the sides, smaller sides, that is QR and PS, will never contribute for any net force, will never contribute for any torque. Only what will happen? These two sides only will contribute for what? Torque. Okay, right. Now, so as these two forces are acting same straight line, comma, net force is 0, comma, net torque is also 0 because of this. Now we have to discuss about what about the force on PQ and force on SR. Now suppose this is a coil. This is a coil. Now the orientation is like this. Now when you come to this position, the orientation will become like this. So this side may be making an angle theta with the field, but this vertical sides you see, they always remain at 90 degree. So the direction of force also will remain same as this one. There is no change in the magnitude of forces on side PQ and RS. But there is some change in the magnitude of forces of QR and PS. Earlier for this position, the force on QR and PS is 0 Newton. There is no force. But when it turns like this, the force cannot be 0. There is some force. Maybe 10 Newton in the upward direction, 10 Newton in the downward direction. But both of them are equal and opposite in direction, net force will become what? 0. Now when you come to this position like this, if it is like this, okay, now FPQ will be into the plane of the board, FRS will be normally out of the plane of the board, nothing has changed, theta value has not changed, so therefore these two forces will still remain as this much only. How much? force on FPQ equals to ILB. Okay, so into the plane of the board, into the plane, FRS is also equals to ILB out of the plane. Now children, the perpendicular distance between these two forces will become this much. This is your perpendicular distance. Now you can see that this distance will be shorter as compared to this distance. So as this is adjacent side, what will happen? This will become B cos theta. So net force due to these two forces is also zero. But they constitute a torque given by tau equals to force ILB into perpendicular distance B cos theta. Earlier the perpendicular distance will be what? B was B. Now the perpendicular distance has changed from B to B cos theta. You can see here. Fine. So this will be I into L into B together I am writing, and here B cos theta. So tau equals to I into A into B into cos theta. For n turns, tau equals to Ni AB cos theta. This is one formula children. When you see the angle made by the plane is theta. So when plane of the coil makes an angle theta with the field. Now if you speak this same thing about the normal, now this is called plane. Now it is like this. Now normal will be making an angle 90 minus theta, because now the plane makes an angle 0 here. Plane makes an angle 0 with the field. Therefore normal makes an angle 90 degree. Okay. Now if this plane turns through an angle theta, this will be turning by the same amount. So angle made by the normal with respect to field will be 90 minus theta. Am I clear? Now the plane of the coil makes an angle 0 with the field. In such case, the normal drawn to the coil makes an angle 90 degree. Clear? If the plane turns through an angle theta, the normal also will turn through the same amount of angle. Now the angle will become what? 90 minus theta with respect to field. Now you see, what is the angle between the pen and the field for this orientation? 90 degree. Now if it turns like this, will it be 90 or less than 90? It will be less than 90. How much less? It is equal to the amount of the angle turned by the plane of the coil. Now we said plane of the coil is turning through 90 theta degree. Therefore the decrease in the angle is theta. So final will be 90 minus theta. Okay. So this is very important. Now if the angle is calculated with respect to normal drawn to the coil, then tau equals to, this will be Ni AB into cos 90 minus theta. So this will be tau equals to Ni AB cos 90 minus theta is what? Sin theta. We are interested in this sine angle, children, because we are going to define a new physical quantity in magnetism, that is nothing but magnetic dipole moment. As we have defined electric dipole moment in the electrostatics, in the magnetism or magnetic effect of current, we will be defining a new quantity, magnetic dipole moment, which is a vector quantity. You know very well that if the expressions are in terms of cosine, then cosine will lead to always a scalar quantity, like A dot B equals to AB cos theta. If you have sin theta, then A cross B equals to AB sin theta. A cross B will result in a third vector, that is AB sin theta into n cap. So that is the reason why we are discussing the angle with respect to normal, not with respect to plane. But when you are solving the numericals, children, you should be very careful about the data. You have to observe carefully that whether the coil, plane of the coil is making angle or the normal is making the angle. Rather, you should observe that the angle given is either it is with respect to plane or with respect to normal. If the data says that it is with respect to plane of the coil, use this formula to calculate the torque. If the data says it is with respect to normal, then use this formula. Tau equals to NIAB sin theta. So this I will write it like this, children. So this is actually the magnitude, or tau equals to, this is N is number of turns. Okay. This will be written as IA cross B. So this I is current, it has no direction. Now area is made as a vector by drawing a normal to the plane of the coil like this. If you draw a normal, then it will become a vector. So IA cross B. Okay, right. Or this will be written as tau equals to N into, this will be written as M cross B, where M equals to I into A is magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment. For n number of turns, the moment will increase by n times. M equals to NIA. Now the direction of A will be given by, again, right hand rule. Okay. If you have a coil, then area will be always normal to the area of surface of the coil. You have to draw a normal. So that is the direction of your area vector. So M is a vector quantity. M is a vector quantity, SI unit. Number of turns, no unit. I is measured in what? Ampere. A is measured in what? Meter square. So ampere meter square. So this will be written as A with a single space M square. Okay. Magnetic dipole moment. So this is very, very important as far as the derivation part is concerned. Derive an expression for torque acting on a coil placed in a uniform magnetic field. If the field is not uniform, what will happen? What are you writing here? Net force equals to 0. Why net force is 0? Because both forces are equal, ILB, ILB. If field is changing, this B and this B will not be same. B on the top of the coil, B at the bottom of the coil are not same. So therefore these two forces cannot cancel each other. So there will be a net force always. Okay. And if you speak about the sides, the field available at left side is not equals to field available on the right side. So forces cannot cancel. Okay. So there will be a net force. Already they are constituting a torque. So therefore there is a net force, there is a net torque. Now the coil is only Because of the torque, the coil only will turn like this. Without any translational motion, it will undergo only rotational motion. If force is not zero, not only it is rotating like this, either it can move into the plane of the board or it can move towards the away from the plane of the board. Means the coil will undergo both translational motion and rotational motion when the field is non-uniform. So this point you can make as a note that if the coil is placed in a non-uniform magnetic field, then in addition to the torque, it also experiences a net force. So net force is not a zero, it experiences a net force. So because of the net force, it will try to move in a translational motion, and because of the torque, it will try to move in rotational motion. As a result, there are two motions possible simultaneously, rotational as well as translational. So the effect is, if the coil is placed in a non-uniform magnetic field, then it has both translational motion and rotational motion. Very, very important point. Okay, right. So torque we have defined and magnetic dipole moment also we have calculated. Fine. So two things, children, here you should remember. One is tau equals NIAB cos theta, tau equals NIAB sin theta. Which formula is to be used when? When the plane of the coil is given, you have to use this formula. When normal drawn to the coil is given, you have to use this formula. Okay. From this only we are, sometimes it is asked to show that the torque acting on a coil is tau equals to M cross B. If it has only single turn, it will be M cross B. If it has got n number of turns, it will be multiplying with n. Right? Okay. So magnetic dipole moment, it is a product of, how do you define magnetic dipole moment? Means it is a product of current and area of the coil. Okay. Is it a vector or a scalar? It is a vector quantity. What is the direction? The direction is same as the normal drawn to the coil. Magnetic dipole moment will be always along the normal drawn to the coil, plane of the coil. Okay. So if this is the coil, if this is the normal, then dipole moment also will be pointing in the same direction because area is pointing in the same direction. Fine. Now we have another thing to discuss about this magnetic dipole moment, that magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron. Magnetic dipole moment of a revolving electron. Right. Take an atom. What is this? That is the atomic number. E is the electronic charge. So this is the total charge on the nucleus. So therefore this is the nucleus. So around this there is one orbit in which there is an electron. This dot indicates an electron. It is revolving, say, in the anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, the direction of velocity is drawn as the tangent to this one. Now, R is nothing but mean radius. You can take from the center also. You know that nucleus is very, very small in size, order of 10 power minus 15 meter. So whether you take from here or from the center makes no difference. R is the radius of the orbit. So E is what? Electron. V is nothing but, V is the velocity of revolving electron in the orbit. R is radius of the orbit. Okay. Revolving electron is nothing but a current loop, because we know that I equals to Q by T, where Q is nothing but what? Charge. When it completes one revolution, what is the equivalent amount of current produced by this electron? Current produced by the electron in one revolution I equals to q by t, that is E divided by capital T, where capital T is what time period of revolution. You know that electrons revolve around the nucleus in the orbits. According to Bohr's theory, the orbits are circular. According to Sommerfeld, it will be elliptical. So now we are considering a circular orbit where the velocity or the speed of the electron is imagined to be constant. Okay. Now, how do you calculate this time means? You know V equals S by T, T equals to, so distance divided by velocity. Distance divided by speed you can write. So distance, one revolution you are speaking about. One revolution is nothing but what, 2 pi r, right? And speed is what, v. So therefore, your current I equals to E by T, that is E divided by 2 pi r divided by v. So this v will go to the numerator, I equals to E into v by 2 pi r. Then next is magnetic dipole moment. Magnetic dipole moment of electron, m equals to Ia. Just now we have defined now. So this I into A is nothing but pi r square, area of the orbit. So m equals to I is how much? E into v by 2 pi r multiplied by I is over now pi r square as it is. So pi and pi cancel, square and r cancel, you will get m equals to E into v into r divided by 2. Nothing is left over in the denominator, E v r by 2. So this is a magnetic dipole moment possessed by electron. So therefore children, an electron, a proton, everything will behave like a magnetic dipole. Magnetic dipole means it has got two polarities, north polarity and south polarity. So this can produce a dipole moment equal to E into v into r by 2. Okay. So time is up for recording. We will stop here. Remaining things we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you.